Greetings.
Yes? Perhaps you seek this one's mistress. She is busy, not to be disturbed. What is this scrap you give Mazalkir? Well, this is her handwriting. This one thinks she has been drinking again, selling things she just bought. Of course, Mazalkir does not steal, even if she deserves it.
You've returned! Have you brought back the petroloop? Will my fingers glide over its gentle curves once more? Ah, Petroloop returns home! You know, I wooed my first love with this very loot, and my third as well. Thus begins the restoration of the college's famed collection to its former greatness. The history books will remember you for this. I assembled the museum for just this moment, but I think you deserve the honor of placing Petroloop on its podium. After you display the loot, perhaps you could read Nell's hidden loves. I could use your skill in recovering the other instruments. Ah, wonderful! I left a copy of Nell's Hidden Loves on the table there. Have a look. Wonderful! Look at the proud Petroloop in its proper place once more. And we're a step closer to undoing Nell's folly. But there are many other priceless instruments lost somewhere out in the world. They need to come home. Yes, indeed. Let the clues within Nell's hidden loves guide the way. As you travel through Skyrim, keep your eyes open. And your ears, too. These are instruments we're pursuing after all. If you find more of them, I'll be here. They say the first one is always the hardest. Everything should be much easier from here. Once you recover all the instruments, I will compose an epic, an adventurer's triumph, to celebrate their return. You will star in it, of course. Of course it will be. We will use the instruments too. They should be revered, yes, but used for special occasions. But first, more instruments. You'll have expenses. Let me weigh you down with some gold before you go. As you fill the museum, bards from all over will make their way to Solitude. Keep working on the clues in Nell's poem. Once we have all the instruments collected, the performance can begin. With the clues in Nell's Hidden Loves and the return of Petroloop, word will travel fast among bards. I hear the vibrations among students, members, and alumni of the college already. Certainly. It will likely open a new dialogue about our legendary instruments, should they return in good order. You began something truly great here. Maestros that were once enemies have already started talking to each other again. Ah, yes, you may not be so familiar with the structure here. Maestros are the faculty of the Bard's College, Master Bards. The head maestro manages the college as a whole. Currently, that is Catrell Gioric.
Every woman has her price. Mine is 30 gold.
What do you want?
Yoren didn't mention he was sending you to Solitude. Not that I'm sorry to have you along. An extra blade is always welcome. As soon as Brondgold shows up, we can get things started. He's what? Oh, damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Lyris Titanborn. Your reputation is known even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best. Go introduce yourself, partner.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Reachman transgressions will not be enough for Svargrim to accept outside help. He's a prideful man, and the bad blood between him and Yoren runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris will need to bring me proof he cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoren, and not necessarily in one piece. Eastern and Western Skyrim have been at odds since the kingdom was divided. Yoren's ambitions for the Ruby Throne, however, have created a new level of tension. Forming alliances and raising armies for conquest. Should we not be wary of such a man? Frankly, yes. He believes Yoren hasn't marched here with an army as yet, because the Western holds are firmly united against Pact rule. My husband is certain Yoren plots to erode those allegiances. He will not easily earn the High King's trust. You must convince my husband that a threat greater than Yoren exists. Further, this threat must directly imperil the High King. Find proof of this, and I will assist you how I can. Helping to keep our hold safe will also allay his concerns. It's enough for me to believe your intentions are sincere. Learn more about these suspicious activities you mentioned, then bring it to me. If this threat is as dangerous as Yoren claims, prove it, and I will make my husband listen to reason. My deepest apologies. Between the Reach to our south and the Ebonheart Pack to the east, our soldiers have come to see all outsiders as a potential threat. I will look into this. Vigilance cannot be allowed to become a bludgeon.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brondald was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoren the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brondald thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brondald mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. After the Ice Reach Coven's attack on the Skald King, we determined they also had plans for Western Skyrim. Yoren's warnings have been ignored, so he sent Brondald to get the lay of the land and me to persuade Svargrim. You can see how that's going. In all honesty, they can't stand each other, but King Yoren doesn't want the Coven to topple Western Skyrim. That would be bad for the East as well as the West. Besides, Yoren was hoping to use this as an opportunity to improve relations. We don't, but it's all we've got. Even if they aren't connected to the Ice Reach Coven, taking care of a few of Svargrim's problems might earn us some goodwill. Now, let's go check out the back alleys and the Lonely Troll Inn.
Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager.
Castle Dower is a monument to the Western spirit. Stony and cheerless. Maybe the new tower will liven up the place.
Hey.
Hey, don't step on the dice. There a reason you're interrupting our game, Horkface? Don't know any Brondald. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning streak. Dead? That's a new one. Nothing Kassala usually moves through port is worth killing over. You didn't hear it from me, but she's the one picking up those shipments. Her warehouse is down on the docks. You want to know more? Go ask her.
Keep your weapons sharp and close. Can't remember her name. Pretty beard.
Mess with the mammoths and you get the giants riled up. Just look at what happened at Cradle Crush.
If you see a pretty bottle around, let me know. It talks, if that helps. Oh, thank you. I was worried that Master Dren had gotten lost when I went to get myself some stew. I guess I just forgot why I set the bottle down. I'll go and get it. Him. as soon as I finish my stew. It's really good stew. That's good. A talking bottle makes me nervous, and it sure made Master Dren crankier than normal. I'll bring it here and keep it safe with his other stuff. Don't worry.
I seem to be making a lot of enemies lately.
You must be Mog. I have questions.
Questions? Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds and let's chat.
You're going to answer me, Orc, or...
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Svanna.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father didn't send you, why are you threatening my friend? Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe? I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner.
Oh, well done. You handled the princess with skill and aplomb. Saves me the trouble of having to talk her down. I'd say I'm in your debt, but it was your sea giant that provoked her in the first place. That's what this was all about? You and the sea giant looking for work? You're too late, I'm afraid. The posting agent has come and gone, and with a handful of laborers in tow. The flyers are still around, so perhaps he'll return. I heard mention of the Drudok Mountains, but I doubt that was anything more than a false trail. Most of these mining concerns like to keep the true location of their hoard a trade secret. But is that it? You a competitor out to steal their mine? Overheard snippets of conversation and a feeling in my gut. While the hiring agent might have been a Breton, his associates were clearly from the Reach, by the way. I also heard talk of a lodge outside the city. Perhaps a stop along the way.
A lifetime of fighting is finally catching up with me.
All praise His Roliness, the Patriarch. Join the First Church of the Holy Sweet Roll today and taste the glory of this wondrous confection for eternity.
I should have tried to kill that sea giant the moment I laid eyes on it.
Did you just see that Argonian? The one with all the cats following him? People insist he's just my imagination, but he's not. Given that some folk here believe snakes are manifestations of Orky, how could they question something like this?
So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her, and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit Casella's warehouse? That's Casella's warehouse. Only one sentry. Let's try not to cause a scene.
Times Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. A half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Casalla returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Casalla doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. But we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? It would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you! You don't know how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him, but this is our chance. Try the lock. See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
Poking through our shipments would return. Brought muscle this time, I see.
No harm in talking. Lots of harm in the alternative. For them, anyway. Go ahead and converse with the smuggler.
I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Gimme that! Tribal crafts my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods, especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't cursed, is it? No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see the same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need assurances. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this. The Breton was sly. Handsome even. Thought he could charm me into taking on additional shipments. Now that I know what's involved, the trouble isn't worth it. The Nords were local, hired hands from the Lonely Troll. I'm paid not to ask too many questions. This arrangement was a lucrative one. I trusted them, but it seems they took advantage of my natural greed. That won't happen again.
Brondald had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? The Coven was also perfecting some kind of ritual in Icereach. Something to do with storms. If these fetishes are from Icereach, you may be onto something. Still, why involve the locals? Seems like an unnecessary risk. Good idea. Head there while I circle around from the other direction. Maybe I can catch them before they reach the lodge. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner at this point in the investigation. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
Oh, he's gonna get more than an autograph if I see him again. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this.
Straggler. I have more than I need, so I'll just feast on you here.
Over here, partner. All I found were these Reachmen stalking the pass. Decided they'd rather die than talk, so I obliged. They don't look like they're from Ice Reach, but they are wearing the Coven's medallions. Anyway, did you find the lodge? Kilcreath? The temple to Meridia? Why would the Ice Reach Coven target a local Daedra cult? Damn, we're running out of time. I'll head back to Solitude and try again to warn High King Svargrim. You go to Kilcreath Temple and alert Meridia's priests. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. You'll be going up against the Coven by yourself. Warn the priests. If there's an opportunity to safely stop or delay the ritual, by all means, but don't take any unnecessary chances. I still don't want to lose another partner. Good luck.
Stop! A disaster has befallen Kilcreath Temple. Don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm. But there are Harrow fiends swarming around Kilcreath Temple who do. Head back to safety before they find you. I'm sorry, but you're too late. An unnatural storm struck the temple and now the entire area is overrun by vampires and Harrow fiends. Harrow fiends are feral vampires, a byproduct of the unnatural Harrow storm. As for me, I am Fenorian of House Ravenwatch. I came here on the trail of remains stolen from a mass grave in Bankurai. They were shipped to Solitude in ancient urns. Yes, I've run into the Coven as well. The urns and the stolen remains play a part in a ritual to summon the storms. If you're willing, I could use your assistance. I need to finish my investigation of the site to see what else I can learn. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess. The Ice Reach Coven performed a ritual that unleashed a Harrow storm on the temple. It struck without warning and evaporated as quickly as it began. But in its wake, it left behind Harrow fiends. Innocent priests and pilgrims transformed into monsters. That's what I heard the Ice Reach Coven call the storm that struck Kilcreath Temple. It's magical in nature. The result of some sort of ritual performed by the witches. I'm still investigating, but I think the Harrow fiends are a byproduct of the storm. House Ravenwatch is one of the noble houses of Rivenspire. Our liege, Count Verandus, has dedicated us to the cause of peaceful coexistence between mortals and those of the vampiric persuasion. That often makes us defenders of Tamriel. True, but I've seen evidence of a vampiric connection. At the very least, the material they transported from Bankurai included the remains of ancient vampires. They were part of an army that was defeated in the First Era. The Grey Host. An army that consisted of vampires and werewolves, led by King Styriek and Verkarth. They were eventually defeated by the garrison at Bankurai in High Rock. It all happened a very long time ago, but such remains radiate with arcane power. Is it that obvious? But have no fear. As a member of House Ravenwatch,
I have pledged to never take blood from an unwilling subject. I assure you, I'm only here to help. I am much more than just a vampire. In addition to being an agent of House Ravenwatch, I am a master alchemist and an expert in arcane studies. I do try to avoid direct violence, though, to make sure I never give in to temptation. Priest of Meridia. Maybe they can tell us more about what happened at the temple.
Please, can anybody help us? Oh, thank Meridia! The priests and pilgrims of Kiltrick Temple. We need assistance. A great and terrible storm struck, and so many of us were lost. A temple dedicated to Meridia, the Lady of Light. Pilgrims come from across Skyrim to pray and seek blessings, especially at this time of the year. Please, talk to Priest Bavian. You'll find her in the nearby cave, tending to the injured. She's the ranking priest, after High Priest Varkor. But we haven't seen the High Priest since the storm hit. Bavian led a group of us to safety. There are more priests and pilgrims out there. If you're willing to help, please talk to Bavian.
The living take precedence. We should search for survivors while investigating the pikes. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess.
I wanted to help the others, but Meridia's words came to me as the storm struck. Every life bears responsibility for itself. Well, I made sure I was responsible for my own life, just as the priests teach us.
That storm! It was terrifying. Oh, the others are still out there. I hope they're all right.
Another pilgrim seeking shelter from a storm? No, you don't appear to be a pilgrim. What brings you here? Even in our darkest hour, Meridia provides a light. We were on our way to see High Priest Varkor when the storm hit. I've never seen such power. It raged like a thing alive. I gathered who I could, but the others are still out there. Start at the stables to the northwest. I saw Acolyte Yold, Priest Irena, and Roligmorth the Pilgrim seek shelter there. If you find them, send them back here. After that, meet me at the Pilgrim's Lodge to the west of the temple. Look for Yold, Irena, and Roligmorth at the stables. Then meet me at the Pilgrim's Lodge. I will head there after I finish caring for these injured souls. Meridia's light shine upon you, good friend. Kilcreep Temple provides a safe haven for the priests and pilgrims of Meridia. At least it did, before this terrible storm struck. The Lady of Light has always protected us. Why today should be different, I don't understand. No, that honor goes to our High Priest Varkor. I am but her humble assistant. She is my mentor and my friend. After you find the others, I'll meet you at the Pilgrim's Lodge, and we can search for the High Priest together. We were on our way to the temple for prayers when an oily black ichor roiled in the sky. The wind picked up and red streaks of lightning struck all around us. We barely made it to the safety of this cave. The storm abated. Then the sound started. Groans, shrieks, blood-curdling screams. It sounded like wild and feral beasts followed in the wake of the storm. I sent Priest Isofnir outside to keep watch, but I told him not to take any unnecessary risks. We're priests, not soldiers, after all.
Priest Bavian was so brave. She led us to this cave and safety. But those noises outside... What did the storm bring with it, I wonder?
When the storm struck, we ran for our lives. It was unnatural, evil. Still, I'm alive, praise Meridia.
An alchemical residue. That should prove useful. What happened to this poor woman? She looks distraught.
Why has Meridia forsaken me?
Keep calm. We mean you no harm.
High Priest Vakor will find me. Meridia will save me. When things are darkest, her light shines the way. Please don't eat me. Priest Bavian? Where's High Priest Vakor? Did those horrible creatures get her? We hid in the stables, but then Priest Darena changed. That's when I ran in here.
Just ordinary sticks and rope now. Interesting. No visible damage despite its proximity to the eye of the storm.
Acolyte Ivina can't hear me. She's standing right here, but she's gone. Is this what would have happened to all of us if I hadn't gotten the others into the cave? I tried to heal Ivina, but Meridia's light had no effect. But what was that about Priest Arena and the stables? Is like poor Ivina. We must find High Priest Varkor. If anyone is powerful enough to cure this unnatural ailment, it will be her. Meridia willing. We'll find the High Priest and everyone else safe in the temple. We need to find High Priest Varkor. Let's head to the temple.
Can you feel the lingering energy? That's Daedric, if I'm not mistaken.
Daedric?
These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Hero Storm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple. Strange. They're alive but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items.
You seem to know a lot about a great many things, vampire.
Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new insights.
By Meridia's light, so many dead. How could Meridia let this happen to her
These are
faithful?
temple priests and pilgrims. It seems the storm killed them.
These were good people, devout followers. How could Meridia let this happen? Did the storm kill all these people? Or was it the vampires we've seen roaming around? I just hope High Priest Varko is safe inside. Priests and pilgrims of Meridia. They must have sought shelter in the temple before this terrible fate befell them. If only they had been able to make it inside. Truthfully, I cannot say. We found safety in the cave, but the storm struck the temple head-on. I am more and more certain that the unnatural event was magical in nature, so anything is possible. But Meridia would protect this place, wouldn't she?
I'll need to perform more tests. But from what we've seen, I believe the storm affects mortals in 3 distinct ways. It kills them, transforms them into harrow fiends, or leaves them mindless. I suppose I'd say it harrowed those poor pilgrims. Head to the temple and help Bavian. See what else you can learn inside. I'd accompany you, but Meridia doesn't approve of my kind, and I'd rather not get on her bad side. In the meantime, I'll finish up out here. I'll take samples from the harrow fiends, and try to determine how the storm killed these people. Later, we can retrieve my alchemical equipment from where I hid it so I can analyze the residue. I didn't want to carry fragile instruments into danger.
Monsters in this holy place. We need to find the temple priests. Vampires have overrun the temple. How is this possible? Our master hates the undead. We need to search the temple, make sure the temple priest and her acolytes are safe. Then we must find the High Priest and pray she can help us end this nightmare.